If you've got any issues, any medical conditions, any injuries this morning, please put them in the chat. We'll try and accommodate those. And as always, if you're going to do the whole session standing or you're doing the session seated, then put a message in the chat as well, or wave your hand at me in the chat if you don't know how to put a message in the chat, just to let me know. So I will give some seated and some standing. We'll do quite a lot of standing today, but a few alternatives when we come down onto the mat. I've got a couple of mat-based exercises today, but mainly standing and a couple of seated options today. So, okay, we'll give it a minute, then we'll start. I can't see, there's a couple that I can't see in yet that I thought were coming in. So we'll just give it a minute just to start. So yeah, do put any comments in the chat, or if you've got any areas in particular you want to work on today. We're always working obviously on our shoulders and our core in particular, but if you've got any areas you want to work on today, those that are live, then do put a message in the chat. Can do all standing. Can do all standing. Okay, yeah, you can do all standing. Yeah, you can do everything standing. You don't have to come down onto the mat if you don't want to. We've got a few mat-based exercises, but as always, there'll be a standing alternative to the mat-based. Let me know if there's any particular reason for that. If you've got back issues, or just feel like space-wise you just don't have the space to come down onto the mat, or haven't got a mat. So, okay, right, we will start. But yes, if you've got any other issues and you want to put anything into the chat, please do. Oh, we've got a couple more coming in. Who've we got? Aha, here are the other two. Hi, morning, Berta. And who else have we got? Yeah. Oh, one came in and came back out again. That was a bit strange. Might want to check that, Kevin. we had a 9 and then we've got an 8 again. So either somebody's come into the wrong session, doesn't realise that's what they've done, or has come in and gone, oh, no, maybe not today. Okay, we're going to have a little bit of music today, just to liven you up. I don't know whether you'll hear it. Doesn't really matter if you can't. You can put some of your own music in the background. But I've got a little bit of Lonely Planet music this morning, just to chill us out a little bit. And I've got my nice leggings on today. These are my sunflower and peacock leggings, new. Okay, so standing up to begin with, just bring the toes up off the ground and place them back down, and then bring your weight gently backwards and forwards. Just over the toes, and then gently one side to the opposite side. And as always, if there's anything that doesn't feel quite right during the session, then please put a message in the chat and we'll just double check you. Okay, so finding your balance on your feet, little toe, big toe, make sure the weight is even on both feet. Soft knees, just a little bit bent, just so that you're not hyperextending through the knees. Pull up through these thighs, pull into the belly, and just imagine you're zipping up a zip. So as you zip up your zip, you're going to get that gentle little squeeze down through the pelvis, through the sacrum, squeezing under. And then keeping nice and strong, keeping that weight evenly on the feet, feeling that little toe, up a little on the arches, circle the shoulders. So try and keep the chin lifted. My iPad is down on the ground, so I'm just going to keep my chin lifted a little. Try and keep looking your gaze forwards rather than down if you can at the feet. The feet will stay there. They're not going to move yet. Good. Take the hands to the shoulders, circle the elbows back. Keep that nice connection in the core so you're nice and tucked under in the pelvis. Good, 2 more, just circling those shoulders back. And release, and circle the shoulders forwards, just without the arms. So hands down by the side, circle shoulders forwards. Good. Take a reach up. Breathe in, reach high. Breathe out and come down. Good. And again, breathe in, reach high. Breathe out, come down. Good. Keep that connection. And again, breathe in and reach high. Breathe out, come down. Breathe in, reach high. Breathe out, come down. Good. Take just a slide with the foot. So toe tap with the right foot, come back. Toe tap left foot, come back. Toe tap right, come back, and left. Good. And again, toe tap right and left. Just checking the balance. But when you come back, make sure you've got the weight even again on both feet. Good. Take a side tap. So side tap out, come back. Opposite side, tap out, come back. Soft knees. Up with the pelvis. Squeeze underneath with the hips. Good. 2 more. Side tap. Side tap. Last one. Side tap. Good. We're going to do a little pelvic tilt. So just tilting under, pulling up. So sit up, push with the bottom underneath. So just tilt. So it's not a big move, but we're just trying to encourage the sacrum and the tailbone to tuck under. Pull it up with the pelvic floor. Make sure the weight is still even on the feet. Good. 1 more. Good. Let's take that to a rotation with the knee. So we're going to come up onto the toes, rotate the knee out. You can lift the knee all the way up and take it out and back in if you want to, or just the knee. So just rotating a little through the hips. Good. 2 more on this one side, right side. Or somebody who's done the left side. Good. And the opposite side. So rotate it out or lift it up, your choice. Up to you. So 3 more. And then just march through the feet. So lifting the heels up 1 foot and then the other. Just march it out. Just gently getting some movement into the feet. Ooh, clicky, clicky. Good. Come back to standing. Let's work with the head. So drop the chin down to the chest. Find the feet again. Soft knees. Lift up. Take it gently to one side, just to where it wants to go. Keep this engagement through the core. Come back to the center. Drop the chin down, breathing out. Lifting up. Opposite side. So just noticing how your head feels, your neck feels to start with. Drop the chin down. Lifting up. Opposite side. Back to the center. Good. 1 more. Drop the chin down. Lifting up. And then we'll do this again at the end of class and see how our shoulders and our neck feel. Good. We're going to take a gentle roll down. Circle shoulders forwards. Bring the hands down the thighs. Be aware, remember if you've got any back issues, not to come too far, especially this time in the morning. So just coming down and then come all the way back up. Circle your shoulders backwards and float up onto the toes. Good. We'll do 4 of these. So circle forwards, tuck the chin in, bring the shoulders forwards, relax the shoulders, bring the weight forwards, draw the belly in, a little further if the back will allow, come all the way up. Circle shoulders backwards, float up onto the toes. So the important thing with this one is that you're rounding down through the spine, not hinging at the hips. So you're rounding down, finding that round, trying to bring the weight forwards, just to where it wants to go. So really rounding down through the spine and then rounding back up again. Rather than collapsing in the hips and having a straight back, really feel like you're rounding down, rounding up. 1 more. Coming down, gentle round, relax the shoulders, bring the weight forwards. And all the way back up. It would be interesting to know as well, for those of you that have been coming for a number of weeks now, If you do feel any different, if you do feel any more mobile, if you feel more open anywhere, I'm sure Active Noom are going to send out a questionnaire. But if you want to put something in the chat at the end, that'd be great. So hands at the side of the body, take a side bend. And again, if you had any issues with any tension in the lower back or shoulders, or any other issues that have almost either resolved or got better during the course of this session. We've done, I think Kevin said 16 weeks. So I know some of you have been coming for that length of time. Good, come to the side, so keep the knees soft. So just a gentle side bend, just reaching down to one side, coming back. Just one more on each side. Now, if you've got your green balls, I know some of you, or Pilates ball, I know some of you do have, grab your Pilates ball. Oh, mine's a little low because I took it to the dojo last night. Got a little bit of air in it. Good, and we're going to just lift it up in front. So we're going to do a lift up and a side bend. So we're going to take the ball in both hands. Don't worry, if you haven't got a ball, you can just do the hands shoulder width apart. So ball up, take it up above the head, take a breath in, side bend. Don't worry if the arms don't want to go all the way up. Just take them to where they feel good. Make sure you're tucking that pelvis under and relaxing the shoulders. So just taking the arms up, trying to lift the arms up to the ears to begin with, lifting up, keep the shoulders relaxed, side bend. So keeping the neck long. It's difficult. The arms are going to want to come up and the arms are going to want to come to up to the shoulders. You really have to focus on keeping them down. Side bend all the way back, and it might feel quite strong in the shoulders doing this. So lifting up, side bend, really pull the shoulder blades down. Two more, lifting up, side bend. Good, last one. So lifting up, draw that belly in, squeeze the bottom, text the back, side bend, releasing down. Good. Ball between the knees or just above the knees if you've got a ball. Don't, if you haven't got a ball, doesn't matter. Just focuses the pelvic floor a little bit more and focuses the knee alignment, feet alignment. So circle the shoulders back, and then we're going to come into a squat. Just bring the arms out in front, but make sure you're sitting back onto the ankles. Oh, look, I'm colour coordinated with my top and my ball today. Maybe I'll wear this top more often. Take a seat back. So breathing out, take it down. Although I should be wearing my Active Noom top, really. I normally do wear my Active Noom top when I'm delivering for Active Noom. And Tuesday I should be getting a new top from Active Noom because we're doing the Soul Sisters walks along the Greenway. So I should really wear green for that maybe, but we're going to get nice t-shirts for that. So I'm looking forward to that. We've got 6 participants at the moment. So if you know anybody that is pregnant or postnatal that lives in Newham, let's take 4 more squats. So take the bottom back, pull the belly in, lift the arms and come slowly down. Make sure the weight's on the heels. So coming all the way back down. So yeah, a really good project that's running till August. We do a little bit of exercise like this for pelvic floor, but in particular strengthening, and the upper body for shoulders, because obviously baby and everything else. Take the ball out. Let's come to a roll down. Now, if you want to come out to plank, you can come out to plank. So your choice. Don't want to come out to plank, we'll just do the roll down, roll all the way back up. So circle shoulders forwards. Remember, bring the weight forwards. Hit the weight forwards, just gently over the toes. Bring the hands down. If you're going to walk out to plank, bring hands and fingers together, fingers and thumbs together even. Spread the fingers, come all the way out. Shoulders over hands and roll these elbows in. You can come down to full point kneeling if you want to, and then come back into your plank. Bend the knees, walk the hands back. When you walk the hands back, try and bend the knees a little and keep the hips in a nice comfortable position. Roll all the way up through the body. Circle shoulders backwards. We're going to float up onto the toes. Good. So we're going to do 4 of those. If you're just doing the standing one, I'm going to give you an alternative. So if you just want to come down with the stand, you don't want to come out to plank, just let go with one hand on thigh, let go with one arm, do the shoulder circles. You can just really let that arm go. Opposite arm. If you're in your plank, come all the way back up. Walk the hands in, come all the way back up, roll all the way up through the spine, circle shoulders backwards, float onto the feet. Good, we're going to do 2 more. So making sure if you're doing the roll down and you're doing the arms, make sure you've done twice on each arm. So you can just circle the arm, bring the weight forward, draw the belly in. Walking out to plank, make sure that bottom is squeezing down, belly is squeezing up. And if you feel like you're too heavy on the hands, ask yourself, have I pushed out through my shoulders? Are my shoulder blades back and down? And am I engaging through my core? Because if you're dropping through the core, there'll be more weight on the hands. Have to engage this core to have less weight through that wrist almost. Roll all the way back up. Make sure you've done 2 on each side if you're doing the shoulder circles. If you're in your plank, don't rush, come all the way back when you're ready and then release down. Good. When you come back up to standing, just march through the legs. So just give a little knee bend. Good. Okay, so we're going to come to a little bit of standing work for the core. This is going to work the core even though we're standing. So we're going to do tap to the front and the back. It's going to work abdominals and the back. Get spinny. So we're going to come out in front. So we're going to tap out in front with the right foot, tap out to the side with the right foot, working the hips. Tap behind, squeeze the bottom to work the glutes. Come back to the centre and come to a knee lift. So it doesn't have to be high, it can just be halfway. We're going to do that 3 times on each side. So starting with the right leg if you haven't already. If you've done the right leg, left leg. So tap out to the front, out to the side, out behind, come back to centre, pull in abdominals, knee lift. Good, opposite foot. So make sure, it doesn't matter which foot you're working, but we're going to do 3 on each side. So tap back, squeeze the glutes, draw in abdominals, pull up. Good, opposite side, tap forward, tap side, tap behind, squeeze the glutes, big squeeze, draw up. Good. When you come up to the front with your knee lift, it doesn't matter how high, but keep the back straight. So you're just lifting the knee, not bringing the body down towards the knee. Last one. Make sure you've done 3 on each side. Knee lift. Good. We're just going to stay with this knee lift. We're going to come across with either hand or elbow to knee. So knee lifts up, opposite knee. So you can bring elbow down and you can crunch a little bit more, but make sure that knee is coming up so you're not bringing the body down to the knee. Knee comes up, crunch across. So you should start to feel the abdominals working. So this is exactly the same almost exercise as you would do in a normal Pilates class, coming across with opposite hand to opposite knee, or coming across here. So it's the same kind of exercise. We're just doing it standing. And sometimes it's a little bit more focused even standing. So draw it up. And you're obviously standing, you're also developing your balance. So we'll do 3 more. This one's also good for mental health, for brain function, because you're doing opposites. Your body's having to think, your brain's having to think while your body is moving. Good. Come back down to normal. Take a roll down. So breathing in, circling through the body. Gentle roll down. Breathing out. Good. Rolling all the way back up. Circle shoulders backwards, float onto hands. Good. I'm going to come down again to a seated position this time. But you can stay standing. There will be an alternative. So if you're coming down with me, come down onto all fours. And then bring that knees round to the front. If you're standing, stay standing. So we're going to do leg slides seated today. We normally do it lying down. We're going to do it seated, just to put a little bit more work on the wrists and also to engage the abdominals a little bit more. So we're going to come down into our seated position, and all we're going to do is bend the knees, make sure both feet are on the ground. So knees out, hip width apart in front. And we're just going to slide one leg along the ground. So slide it out, keep a little bend in the knee, and then just draw it back. So if you're standing, you're just doing the same movement. You're just sliding one leg forwards and sliding it back. So we're going to alternate this time. So pull in, slide out. So make sure you're pulling in with this core, pulling in and up as you slide out. Now, if it's too strong on the back and the core, you can come down to lying. We've done this one before. So you can come down onto the back, slide it out. Slide it back in. We're going to do 6 on each side. And if you're standing, you're just sliding that leg out, sliding it back in. If you want a little bit more work for the core, slide it out, lift it off the floor. So 3 options: standing, mat-based seated. You can do it seated on a chair and lying down. Good. When you've done the last one, come back to centre. And just if you're seated or lying, just take the knees to one side. Just release through the knees. If you're standing, you can do a little squat or a little pelvic tilt, just to release through the back a little. So just let the knees come to one side and to the opposite side. Good. Bring them back to centre. We're going to do the knee drop. So same thing again. You've got the options: standing, seated on the mat, or lying down. Hands this time perhaps facing forwards if you're on your mat, and elbows just a little bent. So drawing the belly in, we're just going to bring the knee out to the side and come back. If it's not comfortable on the arms, you can take them the other way. So we're going to come out to the side, draw the belly back. You're standing, you've got this open knee one we did earlier. So you're just going to open the knee out, tap down, bring it all the way back. So again, 3 options. So let's do again 6 on each side. You can come down onto the back, remember, as well, and do it lying down. So breathing out and coming back. So whenever you go to a Pilates class, or whenever somebody tells you need to go to Pilates or recommends Pilates, find a class that works for you. Don't necessarily go and do a lying down mat-based class if it's not right and you can't get down on the floor. There are always alternatives. So when you've done the last one, again, come back up or up, bend the knees to one side, take a gentle twist, knees to one side, knees to the opposite side. Good. And then if you're lying down or seated, just bring the knees into the chest and come over onto all 4. So we're going to come into our thread the needle. Again, there's a standing option, so don't worry if you don't want to come down to the floor. So bring the knees hip width apart, and if the knees don't like it, remember you can get some padding under the knees. You can roll your mat up so you've got more padding under the knees. Whatever works for you. Don't let your body struggle. I'm just going to move my stereo because I'm going to hit it with my arm, I think. So thread this needle. So we're going to do 2 options on thread the needle today. Watch these elbows. Let them rotate in. If you're struggling with this movement with the elbows, or you're getting this kind of motion with the elbows when you're doing anything, especially planks as well, keep the elbows just soft like the knees. Just take a little pressure off them. So we're going to come underneath with the right arm to start with. So threading underneath. Now keep these hips still. Hips stay still. Arm threads underneath. Now today, this opposite elbow, I want it to push up. So I don't want this arm to be just floating around. I want you to press down through this hand. Push this elbow, this standing elbow, up towards the ceiling. So feel nice stretch through both shoulders. Coming all the way back. Opposite side. So we're going to do 4 on each side. If you're standing, options are, if you feel good and you're strong in the back, No issues with the back. Come forward a little, thread the arm under and come back. If you feel nice and steady, no issues with the back particularly, just can't get down onto the floor, maybe the knees don't like it, come through. Otherwise, just as another alternative, a little alternative, you can just come open with the arm. So we're just stretching the shoulder out. So opening out through the arm and coming back. Good. If you're in your mat based, one more on each side. Really think about bringing the ear down towards the ground but being relaxed. But concentrate on this standing elbow today. Lift it up. Coming back. Good. If you're down on the mat, take a child's pose. Sink the heels back. Bring the arms above the head. If you're standing, just take a nice big stretch. Arms up and then release. Child's pose here. Just relaxing down. And then coming back up. So if you're on the mat, we're going to do the child's pose again, but this time we're going to take the arm out to the side. So we are going to take a breath and take the arm out to the side. Keep looking down at the mat. Try not to twist through the waist. We're trying to strengthen the shoulder. Opening up through and then come slowly into your child's pose. We're not resting this time at child's pose. Into your thread the needle. We're going to just reach through and then reach back. Pull in the core, take that arm out, and then bring it back down to the ground. So arm goes out to the horizontal, feeds all the way through, comes back out to the side, comes all the way back down. So 4 more on each side. So if you're standing, remember the option, you can come through and you can lift out, or you can just do the opening out to the side. Your choice. Good. When you've done your 3, if you're in the mat base, maybe 4 if you're standing up. Come again into that child's pose. Releasing out. And then just come into a seated position if you're down on the mat. Just a comfortable seated position. I'm going to show you the next one. You've got 3 options. So if you're standing, stay standing. So if you're standing, you stand. You can come on into a seated position, or you can come down onto the belly for this one. So just watch to begin with. We're just going to lift the arms into that nice wide V shape. Arms above the head, thumbs facing backwards, shoulders down. So we're just going to retract the shoulders here. Pull in with the belly and bend the elbows. So they're coming down into the centre and then they're going out to that wide V. So you're making a W shape, hands and head into a nice W, and then taking them out, the arms out into a wide V. Coming down and coming back up. Good. This one's challenging on the back, on the front, because we're working with gravity. So if you're coming down onto the belly, one hand under the head, take one to start with. So take one arm out, lift it up, pull it back. Send it out, lower it down. So you're just lifting up, pulling back, sending it out, lower it down. It's quite strong on the back. You can do it 2 hands, but it is a strong one on the back. So have a go, but if it feels too strong on the back or on the neck, come back to 1 arm. We're going to do 6, have a rest. If you're on the mat, you can bring the hands under the head. If you're standing or in the cross-leg position, bring the arms down and just circle the shoulders. So your choice. Choices, choices, choices. That's what we like in my classes. Good, we're going to do that again. So 6 more. You choose which option you're going for. I'm going to stay seated for this one. Take the arms out, fingers facing backwards. Might cross my legs the opposite way, just so that you've got but you're doing it a little bit different. Pull up through the belly so that the back is nice and straight. Squeezing down, lifting up. So wide arms, keep the shoulders pulling down, head in neutral place. And then when you've done 6 again, arms underneath the head. If you're lying or standing seated, just take a gentle roll. So the last one we're going to do, we are going to do lying down on the mat, but there is a standing alternative. So this one is on the belly, but there is a standing alternative. So choose which one you want to do. Show you the lying down one first. I'm going to turn around so you can see my feet. Did wash them this morning, so they're okay. And then I'll show you the standing one. So come onto the mat with the feet together. So big toes together, and you're going to try and squeeze the heels together. Don't worry if you can't. So big toes together, heels together, hands underneath the head, squeeze the bottom. We're just going to lift the feet off the ground, squeeze them up. So we're going to do 6, squeezing up. Now, if you're standing, you can still get that glute engagement, that back engagement, by just doing the standing tap. So you're just going to stand up, pull in the belly, take one foot back, and then just try and squeeze that glute back. So up to you. Don't allow the belly to relax and the back to relax. Squeeze the bottom, lifting up. Done 6 on the ground, just rest, bring the hands underneath the head. And then rest. If you're standing, make sure you do the other leg, so 6 on each leg. And then lying down, we're going to take it out a little bit further. So we're going to squeeze knees together, feet and knees together. Pull in with the belly button, and this time, take the legs up, breathe in, breathe out. Hold it there, and then on the next outward breath, take the legs out to the edges of your mat. Squeeze them out, draw them back in and hold, squeeze, and then lower halfway. So squeezing up. Don't let that belly button touch the mat. Come back to the centre. Lower down. So we're going to do 6 of those. 6 lifting, opening, coming back, squeeze. So if you're standing, you can still do the squeeze back and the squeeze to the side. So squeeze back, squeeze to the side. So 6. Do 2 sets of 6 if you're lying down. 1 set of 6 on each side if you're standing up. So it's working the glutes, working the back. Pull this belly button in. When I say lift the belly button off the floor, don't mean lift the hips. Just mean pull this belly button in so you're not relaxing the belly all the way down onto the ground. So just see how that feels. Good. When you've done the last one, place the hands underneath the shoulder blades. Come back onto the back. Release all the way back. So take a full body stretch. And then we are going to finish. We are going to roll up to stand to finish. So bring the hands in towards the feet down, feet all the way down, and then roll all the way up. Circle shoulders back. So we're going to do a standing calf stretch. We're going to do an active calf stretch today. So bring 1 foot forwards and 1 foot back, about hip, wider than hip width. So about, I'm never really good with measurements, but wide. Make sure they're well wider than hip width. 1 foot forwards, 1 foot back. Make sure that back ankle is turning the foot forwards, the same as the front foot. So both feet forwards. Can have it a little wider than hip width if you want, if you don't feel steady. So keep the back heel on the floor and bend the front leg. You can have the hands on the hips, out to the side, hold a walk, whatever you want to do. We're going to come to active calf stretch. If you've got your green ball, You can use your green ball again as well, Pilates ball. So keep that back foot turning forwards. We're going to come up onto the back heel and then press back down. So up onto the back heel. Take the back heel off the floor. Lift the arms up, come up. Good. Keep the knees soft. And keep this front knee, make sure it doesn't roll in too much. Keep it out. Good. So when you've done 6, we're just going to hold it there. We're going to hold the calf stretch. And we're going to take the ball in one hand. So we'll take the ball in the same hand as the leg that is back. And we're just going to squeeze the ball back. So we're working this tricep. So just pull in with the belly, find that calf stretch. And then just gentle squeeze back with the ball. Just a gentle one. Good. And then step back, both feet in. March up and down on the spot. Take the legs the opposite way. So take the legs the opposite way. Both feet facing forwards, heels in, ball in front. Come up onto the toes. Heel back down. So you can see when I come back down, don't let this heel drop inwards or outwards. Keep it going directly backwards. It's maybe going to want to change. So it's going to want to come in or out. Make sure it goes right back. We're going to do 6 and then hold it there. Bend the front leg. Arm just presses back. Might feel a bit more stretch in that calf. And then come back in. March through the feet. Good. Take the ball behind your bottom or your hands onto your bottom, your choice. We're just going to squeeze the elbows back. So round the shoulders back and down, and then just squeeze the shoulders in. So just squeezing the shoulders in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Keep squeezing. And then release. Circle the shoulders. Good. Take the right arm up to the head, up above the head. Take it behind the neck. Just find this stretch through the front of the arm into the tricep again. So just opening up through the arm, just feeling that tricep opening. Hold and breathe. And then bring the hand to the shoulder, circle the elbow. Good, let's go opposite side. So lifting up, hand behind the head. Just pushing back gently, supporting that triceps, lifting that elbow towards the ceiling. Just hold and breathe. And then release hand to shoulder, circle elbow back. Good, we're going to come to a hamstring stretch. So bring one foot forwards again and one foot back. Both heels again facing forwards. This time bend the back leg. So bend the back leg, make sure again the knee doesn't wobble too far inwards and outwards. It's nice and comfortable. Try and think about sticking the bottom out, drawing the belly in and placing your support on that standing leg. So just on that standing leg, so you're not pressing down on this leg and getting too much extension through the knee. Just pressing down, drawing the belly in. Now just lift that foot on the front toe, unless you have any sciatica, in which case just be gentle with it. So lifting up, lowering down, lifting up. And then can you go a little bit deeper? Can you bring the body weight a little bit more forwards? Feel this stretch down the hamstring, pull the belly in. And again, lift the toe. If the knee doesn't like it, come a little bit further up. And then release. Hold a little deeper. Come all the way back up slowly. Push through this back leg. Marching out through the toes. And then change sides. So feet a bit wider than hip width. Take the weight back on the back leg. Hands onto the back leg. Make sure that knee feels comfortable. Bring the weight forwards. Find this little stretch down the back of the hamstring if you can. Pull the belly in, lift the front toes. So lifting up, draw the belly in, and then see if you can go a little lower, a little bit further forward. Push the toes down to the ground. Find that stretch through the hamstring. Keep that knee strong, and then again lifting up. Toes lifting. Last one, lower it down, push through the standing leg, come all the way up. Just march through the legs. Good, we're going to finish off with the side bend. Now we did this one to begin with, side bend and head. We're just going to test now, do we feel a little bit more open, a little bit stronger? How do we feel? So we're going to bring the hands to the side of the body. You can do this one again, you can do it with the ball. We're going to come down to the side, reach down with one arm. And then we're going to see if we can float the opposite arm up, just to where it wants to go. Feeling this stretch down the side of the body. If it will go over the head, great. If it won't, don't worry. Come all the way back. Coming all the way up to keep the knees soft. So coming down to the side of the body, breathing out. Arm lifts if you want, lifting up. Come over the top, all the way down. Good. So if you've got the ball, you can do 3 on the same side. If you're just doing it with the arm, just alternate sides if you want. Lifting up. Coming over the top. Stretch all the way back down. So 3 on each side. So this is basically, I mean, this standing class, most of the standing stuff is what I do in the parks with my face-to-face classes. We're going to try and get out this morning at 11:15 down to Newham City Farm. So if anybody does want to join us for face-to-face, if you're a little bit zoomed out, I know some of my clients are zoomed out and they're like, oh, please, let's just go out in the bar. It's maybe a little bit chilly today, but we'll see. But if you do get in touch, we're going to stay with the Zoom classes for a little while as well. But it's nice to be out in the fresh air. And obviously the benefit, like I said earlier, is that I can see you and just do some little tweaks with you. Got that face to face, you can ask questions, you can work through things. So it's just, but it's what works for you, obviously. Good. When you've done 3 on each side, come back to the center. You've got the ball, bring the ball between the knees, and we're just going to roll down to finish off. So roll down, take a breath out, gentle roll down, breathing out. And see how the back feels now. How the hamstrings feel. Come all the way up. Circle the shoulders back. Float the arms. And then come to the head. So just drop the chin in. Lifting up. Take it gently to one side. Pulling the belly in. See if there's a little bit more range of movement in that head now. Quite a lot of work opening the shoulders. Breathing out. Lifting back up. Take it gently to the opposite side. Back to the centre. Good. One more on each side. So drop that chin down. Lifting up. Gently to the opposite side. Drop the chin down. Last one. And then I just want you to stand for a moment. If you can close the eyes, close the eyes. If you can't, just soft gaze at where you want to gaze. And just take your attention again back down to the feet. Just lift the toes up. Place them all the way back down. And then just start to draw the energy up through the feet. So drawing your breath and your energy up. Pulling up, keeping the knees soft. Pulling the energy and your attention all the way up into your belly. And then all the way up your spine, into the crown of your head, and then let it go all the way back down and out through your feet. So you can do that with your breath. So think about pulling your breath all the way through your feet, all the way up the spine, crown of the head, feeling a little taller maybe, and then breathing out, feeling your connection with the feet. Good, just one more, breathing in, lifting up. And breathing out. Good, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed today's session. Please put any comments in the comments box. Just checking the weather. I think it might be all right for the park. So for those of you that are coming to join me in the park, I'll see you in about just over half an hour. And for anybody else, if you've got any comments, please put them in the chat. You should all have my email and my website details. So if you don't, then let me know and I can put them in the chat. Otherwise, have a lovely weekend. And Kaz, are you going to come out in the park? Let me know. I think we'll get out, but we'll see. We'll see what the weather's like. I'm going to put my thermals on, put another layer on, I think. So thank you very much. And if you are venturing into indoors, if you want to venture into indoors, I'm starting the This Girl Can classes on the 14th of June. They're going to be a little bit more, a bit more interactive, a bit more lively. So a mixture of dance fitness, yoga, Pilates, a little bit of box fitness, a bit of mindfulness. So those will be starting in on the 14th of June. So and at the Ascension Church Hall at Custom House and at the East London Gymnastics Centre at Beckton. So again, if you want to start getting a little bit more active, maybe you can get out for a couple of walks with the Active Newham Walk scheme in the next few weeks. And then if you feel like a little bit more active class, then come in. Good, that my balance has improved. Brilliant, that's really good. So yeah, I mean the standing stuff will definitely improve your balance. So that's a really good one. Good, thank you very much, everybody. Any other questions, please put them in the chat. Thank you. Okay.
Thanks, Karen. Really appreciate that.
Thank